Okay, page 4. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations or practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations or practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations or practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Sanje joda zoge jonamna chanjo bado dane gyabzo age jinzo gebe zonamge dola benjire sanje dubare jo sanje joda zoge jonam chanjo bado dane gyabzo age jinzo gebe zonam dola benjire sanje dubare jo sanje joda zoge jonam chanjo bardo dane gyabzo je dage jinso kebe tsonamge dola benjire sanje dubare sho Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum te sham datha gato hyavatat Desham chayo nirodha evam bhati mahashramanaye swaha Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum te sham nathagato hyavatat Desham chayo nirodha evam bhati mahashramanaye swaha Om ye dharma hetu prabhava sham dathagato hyavatat Desham chayo nirodha evam bhati mahashramanaye swaha. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. The cessation of causes as well is taught by the Gracia. Eyatha om gate gate paragate parasam gate bodhiswatyata 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 Om gate 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 parasam gate bodhiswaha Okay, today we'll read from page 141, page 141, 37 practices of a Bodhisattva. 141, 37 practices of Bodhisattva. Again, this the 37 practices of Bodhisattva composed by Geshe Dorji Damdul. Of course, he was a great Bodhisattva himself, a Tibetan great master. And what we read, even the words, they are very clear, and the meanings will reflect what kind of emotional imbalances or that we go through. They will all be highlighted in this, and then under such situation, what should we be doing? So all this advice given there, and if possible, that would be good if we could visit this short text every now and then, and just see how to manage emotions. Finally, of course, Bodhicitta wisdom and emptiness. Meanwhile, the detailed situations that you encounter with, how to tackle them, will be very beautifully and so well presented experientially. Okay, let's read this. 37 Practices of a Bodhisattva by Geshe Dorji Damdul. Namo Logeshvaraya. You will see that all phenomena neither come nor go. Still you strive solely for the benefit of beings. Supreme Guru and Protector Avalokiteshvara, to you are continually bound with body, speech and mind. The perfect Buddhas also sought benefit and happiness, arise from practicing the genuine Dharma, which in turn depends on knowing how to practice. So I'll explain the Bodhisattva practices. Now that you have obtained this precious human birth, the great boat so difficult to find, in order to free yourself and others from the ocean of samsara, listening, reflecting and meditating with diligence day and night is the practice of a Bodhisattva. Passion towards friends churns like water. Hatred towards enemies burns like fire. Through the darkness of ignorance, one forgets what to adopt and what to reject. And to abandon one's homeland is the practice of Bodhisattva. Giving up inhospitable places, mental afflictions gradually decrease. With no distraction, virtuous activities naturally increase. When mind becomes clear, conviction in the Dharma is born. Therefore, seeking solitude is the practice of a Bodhisattva. Friends and relatives acquainted for long will separate. Possessions gained with exertion will be left behind. Consciousness of guest will leave the guest house of the body. To let go of this life is the practice of a Bodhisattva. When due to friendship with someone, the three poisons increase, degrading the activities of listening, reflecting, and meditating, and to sow loving kindness and compassion. To give up such a friendship is the practice of a Bodhisattva. When relying on someone, your negativities diminish, and your positive qualities grow like a waxing moon. To cherish such a spiritual friend more than your own body is the practice of a Bodhisattva. Themselves captives in the prison of samsara, whom can the worldly gods protect? Therefore, to seek this refuge, the triple gem, who do not betray you, is the practice of a Bodhisattva. The suffering of the lower realms, so difficult to bear, is what the Buddha taught to be the fruit of negative actions. Therefore, even at the cost of your life, never to commit negative actions is the practice of a Bodhisattva. Happiness in the three realms, like a dew on a blade of grass, is subject to instantaneous fading away. So strive for the supreme state of liberation that never wavers is the practice of a Bodhisattva. From beginningless time, your mothers have cherished you. If they suffer now, what good is your own happiness? Therefore, in order to liberate an infinite number of sentient beings, cultivating bodhicitta is the practice of a Bodhisattva. All sufferings come from yearning for your own happiness. The perfect Buddhas are born from the intention to benefit others. Therefore, to truly exchange your own happiness for the suffering of others is the practice of a Bodhisattva. Even if someone driven by excessive desire steals all your wealth or incites someone else to steal it and dedicate to this person your body's possession, all your virtues of 3 times is the practice of Bodhisattva. If someone cuts off your head, even when you have not done the slightest wrong, through the power of compassion, to take their misdeeds upon yourself is the practice of Bodhisattva. Should someone slanders you and proclaim it in a billion worlds, in return with a loving heart to proclaim the good qualities is a practice of Bodhisattva. If in the midst of a crowd someone exposes your hidden faults and abuses you for them, to bow to them with respect, seeing them as a spiritual friend, is a practice of Bodhisattva. If someone whom you cherish as dearly as your own child takes you for an enemy, then like a mother who loves a sick child, to love that person even more is the practice of a Bodhisattva. Even when someone who is your equal or inferior, driven by arrogance, seeks to disparage you, to place them on the crown of your head with the same respect as you would accord your guru, is the practice of a Bodhisattva. Though gripped by the acute poverty and constantly scorned by others, stricken by terrible illness and possessed by evil spirits, to take upon yourself the negativities and suffering of every being and never to get discouraged is the practice of a Bodhisattva. Though you may be famous and prominent, someone to whom others bow, though you amass riches like that of the God of wealth, to see that worldly splendor has no essence, and thus to be without arrogance in the practice of Bodhisattva. If you have not pacified the enemy of your own anger, combating outer opponents will only make them multiply. Therefore, with the army of loving kindness and compassion, to tame your own mind is the practice of a Bodhisattva. Sensual pleasures are like salt water. The more your craving will increase. Therefore, when something arouses attachment, the abandon immediately is the practice of a Bodhisattva. All appearances are your own mind, and mind itself presents all mental fabrications. Knowing this and to remain free from it, apprehending the sense of subject and object is the practice of Bodhisattva. When you encounter objects that please your mind, like rainbows in summer, and to give up attachment to them is the practice of a Bodhisattva. All suffering is like the death of your child in a dream. To take such delusive appearances as true, how exhausting. Therefore, whenever you encounter unpleasant circumstances, to see them as deceptions is the practice of a Bodhisattva. If those who aspire to enlightenment willingly give up their bodies, what need is there to mention material objects? Therefore, with no hope of reward or benefit, to give the generosity is the practice of Bodhisattva. If lack of discipline prevents you from benefiting yourself, then your wish to benefit others is just a joke. Therefore, to observe discipline with no longing for worldly existence is the practice of Bodhisattva. For a Bodhisattva who seeks the wealth of virtue, every perpetrator of harm is like a precious treasure. Therefore, without feeling irritation towards any, to cultivate patience is the practice of a Bodhisattva. Extravagant and predic Buddhas who strive for their benefit alone exert efforts as if to extinguish a fire burning on their heads. To cultivate joyous effort, the wellspring of positive qualities, is the practice of a Bodhisattva. Spiritual insight, perfectly endowed with shamatha, completely conquers all afflictions. Knowing this, and cultivating meditative concentration that transcends the four formless states is the practice of Bodhisattva. The practice of the first five perfections, but without wisdom cannot achieve perfect enlightenment. Equipped with skillful means and cultivating the wisdom of non-conceptualizing the three spheres is the practice of a Bodhisattva. If you do not analyze your own faults, you might put on the dharmic facade while behaving in a non-dharmic way. Therefore, to continually analyze your faults and then discarding them in the practice of Bodhisattva. If compelled by your own afflictions, you speak of the faults of other Bodhisattvas, you yourself will degenerate. Therefore, never citing the faults of those who have entered the Mahayana path is the practice of a Bodhisattva. Desire for gain and services leads to mutual argumentation, and activities of listening, reflecting, and meditating decline. Therefore, to relinquish attachment to the households of friends, relatives, and benefactors is a practice of Bodhisattva. Harsh words disturb the minds of others and degenerate the Bodhisattva's conduct. Therefore, to give up harsh and unpleasant speech towards others is the practice of a Bodhisattva. Once you have become accustomed to afflictions, they are hard to undermine with antidotes. Therefore, with the remedial weapons of mindfulness and introspection, to forcefully eliminate afflictions such as attachment, the moment they arise is the practice of a Bodhisattva. In brief, wherever you are and whatever you do, always examine the state of your mind. Continuously working for the welfare of others is the practice of a Bodhisattva. To dedicate the merits thus accumulated through these efforts towards enlightenment, with a wisdom free of concepts of three spheres, in order to eliminate the suffering of all infinite beings is a practice of a bodhisattva. By relying on the words of genuine masters, explain the meaning taught in the sutras, tantras, and treatises, in the form of 37 practices of a bodhisattva to benefit those who wish to train the bodhisattva path. Because my intelligence is less and my learning is meager, I lack linguistic skills to please the scholars. Yet since they are based on sutras and teachings of the genuine masters, I believe these practices of bodhisattvas are flawless. Nevertheless, since the vastness of bodhisattva's content is difficult to fathom, by someone like me with an inferior intellect, I pray to the genuine masters to consider with patience all my flaws such as contradiction, incoherence, and so forth. By virtue of the merit gathered here, and by the power of conventional and ultimate bodhicitta, may all sentient beings become like the benefactor of Avalokiteshvara, who dwells neither in the extreme of samsara nor in that of solitary peace. Okay, this author, Geshe Thomas Sambo, his life story, he was, I think, around 12th century, 12th, 13th century. And his life story is very inspiring. When he was very young, age 5, 6, he was in a nomadic area. He was born in a nomadic place where very cold winter with snow and so forth. And the clothes they have is just fur skin, sheepskin, yeah. And this is like the Tibetans call it chuba. And so this little boy also had his chuba. And one evening, of course, when he went to refresh himself, coming back, he came naked. And the family members, they asked, "Where's your chuba?" This boy was not saying anything. And the family members, they went out to see where was his chuba. They found that the chuba was put on a bush, a tiny bush. And they were wondering why this boy put his chuba on the bush. And they just gradually took it away from the bush, and they saw a tiny spider there. So this boy, look at this compassion. This boy thinks that I'm huge, this is a tiny insect, and he does not have chuba. So I should give my chuba to him. I feel cold. He must be feeling so cold. He gives his chuba to him. One incident. Next is incident around the same age. He was going with his uncle, and suddenly there was a windstorm. The wind, of course, the leaves will be carried in the air, and this boy started to cry. And the uncle, he knows it so well that this boy, why he's crying? Because he must be thinking that these leaves are birds. So these birds become so vulnerable that the wind crying and then going to kill these birds. So this boy was crying. And the uncle, knowing that this is why the boy is crying, the uncle told the boy that stop crying, the stupid boy. These are not birds, these are leaves. Instantly the boy stopped crying. He felt so relieved that these are not birds. These are not sentient beings to be killed by the wind. So look at, these are the demonstration of compassion by such a little boy. And there was like a few hundred years ago. Today, nowadays, people send this WhatsApp. In the WhatsApp, where the small boy, they were born in family who do not believe in compassion, just killing the animals like this, right? And this boy never saw, say, somebody being compassionate, saving the lives of animals. But look at this, they say inborn quality of compassion. So when they see their father about to kill the chicken, The boy was going there and grabbed the knife and crying. And telling the father not to kill. The boy very little, age maybe 6, 5 or 6. And then he was pulling the knife from the father's hand. And then the father was pulling it back. And then somehow the father gave up. And he grabbed at the poor chicken. He grabbed at the bird. And then he took it away and went to put it in some kind of shed, threw it there and shooing him, telling that don't come to my father. Beautiful, it's amazing. And then there was again another boy where the family was about to cut a goat. And the boy was grabbing the goat and saying don't kill, And the little girl, you must have seen that. Little girl, she was saying that I'm not going to eat meat. I'm not going to eat meat. And she was crying, literal crying. And then the mother said, what are you going to eat then? She said, except for meat, whatever you give me, I'll eat. And the mother said, would you eat fish? And she was confused whether fish is life or not. She was not sure. She asked if the fish is animal. And the mother said, yes. Then she said, I'm not going to eat it. Wow, it's so beautiful. So these are the, say for example, who you are today. Who are you today? For example, those people who studied another master's course. So this course is very easy for you. Very easy. Why? Because that you bring the imprint from what you've learned before. Those imprints make you your thought process today. So how come that these small children, they display so much of compassion, which they've never seen in their family. They never saw that. But how come that they demonstrate such strong compassion? It's because the imprint which they brought from the past. What is that past? Past life. And then they say we may think about the genetic makeup. So maybe these children, they have a different genes. If you look for the genes, no, it's not the genes. Because, for example, Mozart, he said, say, if his skills in music, if that is because of a very unique gene, where did he get this gene from? From one of the earlier parents, ancestors. You go back in ancestor, no music. You got 0.3 million years ago, no music. Homo sapiens, they were just like wild animal. Right? No music. No sense of aesthetics. No music. So you go back in time, you cannot explain it genetically. So where did it come from? We can't expect that suddenly there's somebody here, suddenly you realize emptiness. No. To realize emptiness must be preceded by your training. Without training, you cannot suddenly become a Nobel laureate in physics. You cannot become that. You're getting it? Everybody saying these are all, if you think very comprehensively, gradually, you see that there's no way other than to accept the rebirth. So without this, many of these explanations will remain unexplained, or explanatory gap will be seen there. So from this we see that this author demonstrated this incredible compassion. Likewise, all these little boys and girls who are born in a family where they don't believe in compassion, right? Compassion, particularly compassion for animals. How come that these small children, they display such intense compassion? It's all because of the practice. How many people here? Like 50 people here. After studying this, if you practice this compassion, no doubt in your future lives, you will demonstrate the tremendous compassion. You will demonstrate it. It's a matter of practice. Just having the knowledge does not suffice. Knowledge and then integrate it in your practice, daily practice, like taking the dose of medicine every day. Then it'll bring about change in your mind. And our mind is amazing. The true nature of mind is so amazing. If you give shape, it can be given any shape. That's amazing. You can make it a demon. You can make it a Buddha. It's amazing. This mind has tremendous potential. So with this in mind, what I'd like to share with you before we jump into this. Okay, by the way, we see that in the timetable, it says that there is one extra class today. Did you notice that? Okay, we'll not have. We should be very realistic. I'm not 30 years old. When I was 30 years old, I used to be very energetic. People won't believe that, where are you getting this energy? Now I'm not 30 years old, right? I could feel that sometimes in Tibet House, when I have class, like, I think about like 5 classes a day. 5 classes a day, each with like 2 hours. Almost like 10 hours sometimes, and then my personal practice, and so, and then personal reading, preparing for the classes. After like 2-3 days, then I don't know where I'm going. The secretary says, Geshe, now you do this class. Okay, I go. So whatever he says, I go, right? Actually, I don't know myself what I'm doing. Yeah. Okay, I'm not 30s. So whoever made this calendar, it must be the Venerable Tenzin, who made in consultation with Tibet staff, who is in his 20s. Yeah, Tibet secretary, who is in his 20s at the moment. Yeah, they don't know. Yeah, okay. So we'll have this class, and then the next we will not have the next session. It went off. Okay. So for this, last time we were talking about our Buddha nature. When I say Buddha nature, don't take it as a technical or something religious concept. Now I'm going to explain it slightly in a different way. Say, in relation to why to cultivate. Okay, Iran would say what? Why, how, measure. Right? Why, how, measure? Why to cultivate bodhicitta? This is what we are explaining here. In the context of the nature of your own mind, your true nature, the true nature of your own mind. Say, okay, let's say that you are very peacefully sitting there, and suddenly somebody who you dislike passes by. What happens to you? Tell me very honestly. Somebody who is, it may not be that you dislike, but the other person dislikes you, and you know that person dislikes you so much, because of which you don't feel okay. You getting it? You are not a bodhisattva, right? For you, no. I didn't do anything. This is what the other person is doing. I'm too much. This is your attitude. And you, okay, today I'll sit here very peacefully into something very nice. And suddenly the person passes by. What happens? Just tell me. Physiologically, what happens? Quick, just tell me very quick to save time. Okay, you feel awkward, weird. Anyone else? Describe it. Yes. You become tense. Good. Anyone else? Subhash? Heart rate goes up. Okay, now the explanation becoming clearer and clearer. Right? Say, feel awkward. Yes. And then the body becomes tense. Yes. Why? Heart rate goes up. Anyone else? Heat goes up. Yeah, the heat builds up. Tick, 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 tick. Right? Heart palpitation, right? Happens. Okay. That's very strange. Tell me. And then this is the physiological reaction. You feel awkward. This is mental. Tense up, physiological, and the heart rate goes up is physiological, right? Okay, so tell me, the person passing by, and what's the correlation? How the person passes by, that creates all these magics. How did it happen? Why did it happen? Raise hands. Okay, ask that, right? Huh?
Perhaps because of the memories we create in our mind of some particular incident we had with that person.
The memory, what triggered the memory?
The incident which had happened in
No,
the
no,
past,
no. Yes, memories that happened in the past, nasty memories. They're triggered by?
thoughts.
No. What happened? You see the person.
That is true.
You see the person. You're getting it? If you close your eyes, then this memory will not be triggered. But the person passes by, it doesn't trigger the memory. But why it triggered memory when the eyes are open? Why?
Attach a certain concept with that person. There's a threat perception and you want to protect yourself and survive, so there's aversion. So you close
No, these are all the processes. So the processes, if you close the eyes right from the beginning, oh, I want peace of mind, I don't want to say anything, close the eyes. And the person passes by, it doesn't affect you. You're getting it? It doesn't affect you. But with the eyes open, I'm very peaceful, oh, beautiful tree, right? Beautiful tree, and the fresh air. Suddenly the person passes by. Instantly the temperature shoots up, right? So why? Why with the eyes closed, right? Then all these things happen. Why? So, say the memory triggered by what? Jacob.
Us believing that person's inherently existent and then creating a mental concept and projecting it back out onto the object.
No, so that you can do even with eyes closed. You can think of that person intrinsically real.
But you can't see the person that appears inherently existent with your eyes closed.
You see. You're getting it? What seeing, and then if it is non-discerning direct perception, right? Your mind is somewhere else. Your eyes are totally blank. Then it doesn't affect you. It doesn't have any effect, right? So there, your mind should be following your eyes. You getting it? So the eyes cognize. There's a cognitive, the cognitive activity happening. Activity of cognition happening, right? This is a person. Then the memory triggered, right? Memory triggered. You getting it? So look, say this cognitive thought process that affect your mind, and the mind affects your physiology. You're getting it? Then uneasiness builds up. This is so important. Keep in mind. Okay. So we see that your cognitive thought processes affect your physiology. You're getting it? For example, if a neutral person comes, cognitive thought process is active, but it does not affect your physiology. Somebody who you love so much, the person comes, there's a pleasant feeling coming. You're getting it? So different reactions are given to your body, mental, physiological, by the different kind of cognitions. You're getting it? Okay. So we see that your cognition, the cognition plays a very important role in your, say for example, say, how is this flower? How is the flower? The people who love the flower say, very much, it's beautiful. People who do not love the flower will say, so. You getting it? So means your mind, only the cognitive part of the mind is activated, not the affective mind. For those people who love the flower, not only cognitive, affective mind is also affected. You getting it? Affective mind is also affected. So when you say that undesirable person comes, your affective mind is activated. Undesirable. I don't want to see this. Aversion arises. Affective mind is activated. Why this affective mind is activated? Because of the cognitive. You're getting it? This is a person. You're getting it? This is a person who is probably troublesome. So the cognitive thought processes affect your affective thought processes. And the affective thought processes affect your physiology. You're getting it? Okay. So with this, now affective thought process, there are so many kinds. There are so many kinds. Some are very beautiful to some are so nasty. You can't imagine. This is a human being. How come that human being can be that nasty? Some, wow, just think of the person, it makes you cry. So beautiful. Affective mind can be Radiant. Okay. Now let us be more positive, right? Let us be a little bit more positive. Just in your life, did you ever have any experience, very extremely beautiful moment of experience, extremely beautiful moment, right? The most beautiful moment in your life, extremely beautiful moment. Resents? Resents? Beautiful moment, right? Okay, beautiful moment, very reliable beautiful moment, not the unreliable, right? You understand what I'm saying? Some very intense beautiful moments are there which are totally unreliable, very deceptive, right? Very reliable, reliable beautiful moments. Okay, just resents. Okay, Rashmi, you like to share? Okay. Rashmi, when you become
When I became
mother for the first time, wonderful. And anyone else share your experience? Anyone? When is the most beautiful moment in your life? Yes.
I don't know if it's the most beautiful, but it was a genuine one, I feel. I was,
Genuinely pleasant.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was basically meditating at home in an empty room.
Ah.
When I finished the meditation, I just felt so content and happy. But when I analysed, there was no running, car, food, women, nothing dance, genuinely, there was nothing there to make me feel happy. I just felt a sense of like, I don't know, this peace, I don't know, can't explain it. It was,
Okay, there's no words to explain. It's so beautiful. It's very genuine. Very good. Anyone else? Oh, no one. That's it. No one wants to share. Okay, here. Asta?
I was very, very happy when my first exhibition took place, my painting exhibition.
Painting exhibition.
At my first painting exhibition.
You are a painter.
Yeah.
Wow. It's nice to discover that you're a painter. Good. And Isabel.
Doing success. When I dance.
When you dance, you're a dancer,
Yeah.
professional dancer.
Now.
Okay.
That doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, yeah. Like when you dance. Anyone else? Yes, Menla.
We are attending the audience with His Holiness Dalai Lama, June 2nd.
Okay. Having the audience with His Holiness, 2nd June. Wonderful. Anyone else? Jill, you'll share? Yes, yes, yes.
So recently, I was actually sharing that I was recently in Tel Aviv and went to Jerusalem and had a very beautiful experience at the Western Wall.
Oh, Wailing Wall.
Yeah, the
Wailing Wall. Oh, yes.
Very powerful.
Yes, yes, yes.
And the other one I remember was also His Holiness. I had an opportunity to bring him into the temple. You know how there are people who guide him in Dharamsala.
Dharamsala. Ah.
So he's behind you, and all the people are there, and their all heads are all down, and they're all carrying their khandas, and they're all seeking blessings, and I started to cry because he's behind me. It's not for me, but you can feel the intensity of.
Yes, yes. True, true. That's true. Wonderful, wonderful. Anyone else? Professor William, you'll share?
About 30 years ago, His Holiness was doing a morning silent meditation in Central Park in New York City.
Oh.
And I went with my 2-year-old son.
Oh.
Carrying him there.
Oh.
After the meditation was over, there
Wow.
That was so moving was the way his face lit up when he saw my son.
Huh.
He greeted my son. And
Oh.
my son, who was 2, greeted him in the same way.
Oh. Oh. Wow. That's amazing. That's beautiful. That's amazing. Wow. Wow. Wonderful. Amazing. Anyone else? Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay, what is affective mind and what is cognitive mind? Okay. The best example, easiest thing is, let's say that what is this? A person A, person B, person A who likes flower, person B who doesn't like flower. I ask both, what is this? Both will answer what? This is a flower. Person A and B, whether you like it or not, the answer is same. That is purely cognitive. You cognize it, that's it. Now the affective one, I say person A, how good is this flower? Person A is beautiful, right? So there the mind is pulled by the object. The mind moves towards the object. So that movement, where the mind which moves towards the object or away from the object, it may not be always towards the object, it can be away from the object also. Aversion also can be affective. Affective mind can be attachment or aversion, being pulled towards the object or pushed by the object. So whereas the cognitive is purely, you just say there is flower, not flower, no judgment of good or bad. Whereas with the affective, then the judgment, I won't use the word judgment, but the mind would show affinity. Affinity or opposite of affinity will be pushed by the object. That is the affective. Welcome. Anyone else who likes to share? Drishti, you want to share? You don't want to share? You don't remember any moment?
One was when in June we went to a retreat at Kushita. It was in Hindi, so they organized an audience with His Holiness over there. At that time we were like taking blessings from His Holiness personally and going for like even if it was for just 5 seconds, that was like a lot.
Oh.
At that time, and I was young. I was like, I guess I'm 8th or 9th class. And me and my brother wanted a small pet dog since for a while, and my mother and dad were not allowing us to have one. But me and my brother came from school one day, and we saw like a little puppy roaming around in the house.
Big joy. Good. Okay. So the Iran? Okay. The point is that when your mind feels this incredibly beautiful affection, when you feel it, your mind simply relaxes. It simply eases out. Okay, like what the Professor William explained, you can imagine that. You know, when you really feel this beautiful moment, your mind simply expands. You're getting it? Expands. Say, for Professor William, if it is like not just one His Holiness, right? Not just one. If it's infinite number of His Holiness, right? Then his mind will expand infinite, right? Okay. So likewise, say like what the Benla and others explained, about with His Holiness, right? They say one His Holiness, 10 His Holiness, 100 His Holiness. It keeps your joy keeps multiplying. You getting it? Okay. So basically, we see that is the cognitive that can create this affective mind, where your mind expands, move, right? So the question is, what is the true nature of mind? For example, let's say that sometimes the wool company, the wool or the cotton companies. What they do is the cotton, when they export, what they do is they squeeze the cotton, the wool too tightly with some machines, some metallic metallic wire too tightly, and they all squeeze tons and tons of cotton, squeeze into a tiny ball or tiny cube. And when you let go, when you remove the metal rope, right, you have to be very careful because there's so much pressure inside. If you cut it, and it can suddenly go out, and then these metal wires, if they hit you, it can kill you. So therefore they do it so carefully that the people not around, somehow with some implement, they will break the wire, and instantly the cotton inside, the wool inside, they will just manifest their true nature. What's the true nature? Expand. You're getting this true nature. Being squeezed is not the true nature. Our mind, the true nature is our mind simply expands. When a mind expands, you're happy, not happy. Say, for example, you are surrounded by people who you don't know, who are judgmental, who are not kind. You are happy, not happy? Not happy. Because you feel that you are in prison. You're getting it? Your mind is in prison. So cognitively, what creates the people, they don't say, okay, now feel that you are in prison. No. So what makes you feel the prison is your cognitive mind. Your cognitive mind creates a barrier between you and others. Okay, they don't love me, they don't care for me, so I should be careful. Which means you create a barrier cognitively. Your cognitive mind creates a barrier, and then affective mind creates. Okay, cognitive mind says that cognitive mind gives the information, and the affective mind, right, resists to go there. So creating a barrier, right? This is not your true nature, right? When you feel the true nature, you sigh. That's the true nature. Yes, that's the true nature. Like this cotton. Break this metallic wire, then what happens? It just becomes so loose and expands. This is the true nature of the cotton. Likewise, if you break all these cognitive, the barriers, if you break all the cognitive barriers, the mind will manifest its true nature, so expansive and extremely beautiful, with the greatest of the ease. This is amazing. This is true nature. Mind will manifest its true nature. Now, but we feel restricted. We feel restricted. Our mind feels restricted because that we are cognitively we are bound. Cognitively, we create these divisions like the past memories, as Asta said. Past memories. Then cognitive. Oh yes, past. I should be careful. What do you mean? I should be careful. In the past, I have this experience. You don't know somebody. You trust a person, and then you end up in problem. I should be careful. You create cognitively. All the information from the past experience, and then you effectively your mind resists, creating a barrier. This is not your true nature. Sometimes, did you ever feel like this? That you're with somebody, and somehow you come to know that the person is extremely judgmental, and the person has so much power. Right? So much power, and you cannot say, okay, let me leave. You cannot leave like this. And you have to sit with the person. A person extremely rude and judgmental. Did you ever come across such a situation? Yes, yes, yes. Okay, what is that feeling like? Suffocation, right? Suffocation. You just feel like, okay, if the person leaves, or somehow I get the chance to leave, right? And you get a chance to leave, what happens? Which is the true nature? In front of the person, or that is the true nature. You getting it? That restriction is released. You feel the true nature. Okay. So your true nature of the mind is just to feel the expansiveness. For example, say a child in the school who's being bullied by the other children. Coming home, the child will feel so relaxed. You can imagine that? Some of you might fall into this category, yes? Okay. So this is our true nature. Our true nature is the mind. If you let the mind to manifest in true nature, it simply expands. Expands means there's no constriction, there's no suffocation. You're free from all the suffocation. But I don't feel it now because something is obstructing it. For example, this wool or the cotton does not manifest true nature. Why? Because being bound by the metallic wire, right? Metallic wire. By the way, Sonam, you don't use this metal wire for your startup? No. How do you manage then? The wool, pashmina wool. Okay, good. So now the point is that how come that our mind does not manifest its true nature? It is restricted. It is constricted by something. What something? That is the cognitive thought process is the one which gives you information. This information is being supported by the past memories. Past memories. Okay, be careful. Don't trust others and so forth. Right? They can harm you. So then this information that you are getting, and then the past memories combined together, makes your mind to be restricted. Makes your mind not to behave in its natural form. Okay, now our job is, what do you want? You want the mind to be suffocated, or you want mind to be expansive? You feel, what do you want? Andorra, what do you want? It's like expansive, to feel right? How to make it happen? This question. How to make it happen? Two ways. Immediate way and the long-term way. Immediate way is that in our life, if you look at, when does one feel that? When, for example, like how, the Professor William is explaining, his son, with his holiness, he felt this beautiful moment. What is that? Feeling of love and affection. You agree? Feeling of love and affection. In fact, feeling of love and genuine feeling of love and affection is so beautiful and so powerful. And believe it or not, many of the unnecessary rules, regulations, they're all because of lack of love and affection. With a genuine love and affection, many rules and regulations, they become redundant. They're not necessary. Right? Rules and regulations in a community, even in a country, even in the world, this is all redundant if the world is operating on the principle of compassion, principle of love and affection. These rules and regulations are redundant. At home, what are the rules and regulations? Right? At home. Okay, some parents, they have rules and regulations. Hey, your job is to wash the dishes. The child, and small child, your job is to clean this. It is to teach them. It is to teach them not to create rules and regulations. It is to teach them. Right? This is smart. Right? If the boy said, "Mom, I don't want to wash today," right? I don't want to wash today. I'm feeling a little sick. Don't worry, you don't wash. You're getting it? So it's just to teach, not to impose the rule regulation. Where the love and affection is there, rules and regulations are to make something function properly, right? And what makes something function properly? The most effective one is the love and affection. Okay, so with this point, the same. How when we feel this love, genuine love and affection, you feel, for example, say like how you explained. For example, there was one gentleman. It was several years ago. I think 4 or 5 years ago. I had a similar teaching, and I asked the same question. And one gentleman, I asked, what is the most beautiful moment in your life? Just share. And one gentleman said, When he was sharing this moment, he was literally almost breaking down to tears. What he said was that the most beautiful moment in his life was holding the hand of his 1-day-old daughter. When he was saying this, he was literally crying. He could feel this beauty of the love and affection. You could feel this genuine love. Okay, so if you feel this towards one person, this intense love, if you feel this towards 10 people, what is that like? It multiplies. If you feel towards infinite, it flows infinitely, right? Okay, so that is the true nature of your mind, that your mind flows freely towards all the beings. That is the true nature. But it does not flow. There's something obstructing you, obstructing us. Can we make it happen? Can we make it happen? This question. So they say, for example, say the Charles Darwin, he would say, no, it's not possible. Because for the survival, what's the purpose of the purpose of human species? To continue the species. To continue the species, your emotions will help you to continue. Attachment, anger, fear, these are the instinct emotions. And without these, you cannot survive. Your species will die. So you need these emotions. When you have these emotions, are you happy? Fear, are you happy? Not happy. But if you don't have this faculty of the fear, when the tiger comes, you will not run because you have no fear. If you don't run, the tiger will eat you up. Finish. The species come to an end. So therefore, for the species to continue, this fear is required. And for you to survive, you need the conducive factors. If you don't have attachment, you will not look for the conducive factors. Again, you will not survive. And there are undesirable factors are there, non-conducive factors are there. If you don't have aversion, you will not push these away from you. Again, you will not survive. You need these emotions, which are evolutionary gifts for you, and these are instincts. You cannot get away from this, and also that without these you cannot survive. Your species will die. In other words, you cannot get rid of these. So when you have these, you are not happy, right? Fear, you are not happy. Anger, you are not happy. Whereas the Buddha taught something very different. Buddha said, no. Are these emotions instinct? Answer is yes. This instinct meaning innate. Very innate. Can you get rid of them? Yes, we can get rid of them. Don't we need them? We don't need them. We don't need them. For survival, there's a better equipment than these instincts. What is better equipment? Skilled compassion. Skilled compassion will do everything. Skilled compassion, for example, a mother who's very skilled, very compassionate, and extremely skilled. For the survival of her children, the mother will make sure that she remains strong. Because if she dies, the children will not survive. A skilled mother will make sure she remains strong for the children. You getting it? Out of love and affection, not out of anger. And if there's the threat, the mother will be the threat to her life. No, I should not let the threat kill me. If I have to run, I have to run for the benefit of my children. That the children, if I die, the children will suffer, right? So this skilled compassion will do things so effectively without any side effects. And the skilled compassion, the feeling is joyous, not unpleasant feeling. So with this, the question is, can we acquire that skill whereby you can manifest your true nature of mind, which expands infinitely? So for this, there are two ways of doing it, and we have to do both. One's the short term, one's the long term. The short term is just see how, who displays such a feeling of genuine affection. Can we mimic them? Can we learn from these? Okay, this question. So in your life, we see that who demonstrates such a feeling of genuine love between the two. So just tell me what you can most commonly witness. Genuine feeling of affection. Anyone? Huh? Mother and the child, between the mother and child. Okay, look, this is so important. Between the mother and child. This is most commonly seen, visible thing. And yes, I personally, some people, they tell me, Geshe, you travel everywhere. Tell me, what is your favorite place? What is your favorite food? For me, these are the most boring questions. Right? So whereas if you tell me, what is the hobby? My hobby is to sit in a place where other people cannot see me. I can see others. And the mother and the little child. Right? Being there. And they don't observe me. I observe them. Keep watching them. I can sit for 2-3 hours. Just appreciate the love between the mother and the child. How the child feels so free. So free in front of the mother. And the mother so selflessly give everything to the child. Just observe this beautiful mind. And in the process of looking at it, you could see that seed is activated within you. That seed is gradually activated within you. That is the seed of bodhicitta. This is so beautiful. You getting it? Okay, so as you said, that finally, that the expansiveness of your mind, if that is the true nature of mind, where you don't see any restriction, no suffocation, then how do we make it that what is that mind which flows infinitely? That's feeling of love, feeling of affection. So can we really cultivate this feeling of affection towards all the beings so that I can expand my mind infinitely? Okay, not sure. Can I cultivate this, the love towards all the beings? Okay, not sure. If yes, where the Buddha taught, if yes, do I see any examples, even on a small scale? Yes, between the mother and the child. Particularly when the child is age 1, 2, 3, is so beautiful. The mother and the child's relationship is so beautiful. So you look at it. Okay, so there's the mother loves the child and the child loves the mother. You agree? At that stage, right? Not when the child is 14, 15, 16, 17. Right? Okay, at that stage. Now, can we learn from one of these two persons how the mother feels towards the child or how the child feels towards the mother? Can we learn from one of these two? The mother's love and affection, what is the mechanism? One is biological. Then number 2 is the mother's feeling that this is my child, right? And another one is biological. And this is the, one thing. And the child, how the child builds the love towards the mother, right? Child came from day 1, the child was born on the planet Earth. Day 1, the child was born. Day 1, the child was born. Did the child manifest the same love and affection? Day 1, the child was born towards the mother, the way he or she demonstrates when he or she is age 5 or 6. Yes, no? No. No. Okay. Do you love all sentient beings the way the child loves the mother? Do you love all sentient beings at the moment? Not yet, right? So we are very similar. The child, 1 day old child, and you now, very similar. Child, day 1 old, he or she doesn't love the mother as much as she would love, or he would love when she reaches age 2, 3, 4, 5. And you also don't love the sentient beings yet, right? Very similar. Now, but the mother, the moment the child is given birth, but mother loves the child, right? Rashmi, yes? Yes. So we cannot mimic like them, right? We have to. So if at all we have to mimic somebody, we can mimic this small child who does not love the mother at all. Day 1, the child was born. 2, then gradually developing this love and affection. Okay, now there's hope, right? Now my question, how did this child who did not love the mother at all, okay, some of you may argue with me, no, that's not true. Scientifically it is proven that the child in the mother's womb, he or she heard the mother's sound and so forth, but the brain was not developed fully. Don't forget it, right? So brain continues to develop. Even the feeling of affection, intensity of affection and so forth, these are very much determined by the development of the brain. You getting it? So the science will be so happy. Science will never say that the child who is 5 years old, 6 years old, scientifically proven that the child loves the mother so much, who is 5. No, it's so obvious. What is not obvious, science will say, right? Scientifically proven. You getting it? What is not obvious? So which means it is not really the case. They could like 1%, 2%, not 98%. You're getting it? So with this in mind, how does this child, day one the child was born, the child did not demonstrate any love and affection, saying that, Mom, thank you so much for giving birth. No. Right? It did not happen. From there, where the child does not have any response to the mother, day one born, by the age 2, 3, 4, 5, the child builds a tremendous affection towards the mother, to the extent that the child could see the prospect of the mother leaving the child, leaving him or her for about like maybe 3 hours, 5 hours, half a day, 2 days. Child would just scream. You're getting it? Could not contain the pain. How many went through this yourself, presents? Yes, we went through that answer. You getting it? Tell me, how did you develop this intense love and affection within the span of 3, 4, 5 years? Okay, here.
Seeing the repeated benefit that the mother is offering to.
Oh, how many agree with Carolina? That you continue to see that this is a person who gives me benefit. Who gives me benefit, right? But continuously. In other words, the child continues to see that this is a person who is a source of benefit for me. This is the person who is a source of benefit for me. You getting it? So, where you get the benefit, your mind goes towards that. You getting it? Your mind goes towards that. How many agree with me? Okay. So this is known as my mind feels close to the mother. You getting it? Because the mother is the source of benefit, and your mind go closer towards the benefit. So this means I feel close to my mother. You getting it? This is the connotation. I feel close to the mother means that my mind goes close towards the source of benefit. This meaning of feeling close. Feeling close is meaning of affection. You're getting it? Affection means feeling close. Feeling close means that your mind goes towards the benefit, source of benefit. Okay. Now, so this child develops over 3, 4, 5 years. The child develops intense love towards the mother because of seeing the mother as a source of benefit. So this is mechanism. How this love is developed from 0 to, like, let's say, for a child it is 100%. 0 to 100%. And then as you grow, age 12, 13, 14, 15, then 100, it goes down. 90, 80, 70, 60, right? And then a certain age 17, 18, sometimes conflicts happen, right? Okay. So what I'm saying is that this is developed over the time by seeing the mother as a source of benefit. This is a mechanism. Now can we apply this mechanism to yourself? If you can see all the beings as a source of benefit, your mind will likewise feel close to all the beings. If your mind can see the benefit of all the beings, then your mind will invariably feel close to all the beings. If you agree, in a sense. Very good. If you can see this question, the point is, if I can see the benefit of all the beings, then my mind will feel close to all the beings. You getting it? Okay. Now can we see the benefit of all the beings? Can we see the benefit of all the beings? Don't start by saying, yes. Don't be too excited. You getting it? It must be very realistic. If you're not realistic, yes, everybody is so kind. Don't be naive. Let us be realistic. You're getting it? If you're naive, you will never experience bodhicitta. We have to start from the ground. Don't start from the air. Air, there's no ground. in the sky, there's no ground, you will never experience bodhicitta. No, everybody is so good, everybody is so kind, right? Everybody is so kind. I'm the one who is not kind. Everybody is so kind. This is not reality. You're getting it? We have to start from reality. So in real life, we see that there are some people who are nice to you, yes? There are some people who are neutral, right? Who looks at you and then like a blank eye, they will leave you. Right? With a blank eye, they look at you and they will leave you. These are neutral beings. Some people who are nasty. Or, if not nasty, difficult. You agree? This is the world. You have to acknowledge that. If you don't acknowledge that, real bodhicitta will never come to you. You're getting it? Never come to you. If you really want to experience the real bodhicitta, then you have to acknowledge the reality. The reality is that the bodhicitta towards whom? Towards the sentient beings. And sentient beings, there are three kinds. People who are nice to you, people who are neutral to you, and people who are difficult. 3. You have to acknowledge that. Once you acknowledge that, then the next question is that is it that you can think of the benefit that you get from the near and dear ones? Yes. Neutral beings, not sure. Difficult people, no way. You're getting it? This would be our attitude at the moment. But we're going to learn from these very precious texts, taught by the Buddha, further commented upon by Nagarjuna, and then Acharya Chandrakirti, his texts, the entry into the middle way, Madhyamaga Avatar. There he explained in great detail, how to practice universal compassion. And then Arya Sangha, and then Guide to the Bodhisattvas like Bodhisattva Shantideva. We see that all these experiences given, how by acknowledging the reality, still you can see the benefit that you get from the near and dear ones, neutral beings, and from the difficult people. You're getting it? Okay, if you can see the real benefit that you get from the enormous benefit that you get from the neutral beings and the difficult people, then your mind will flow towards all the beings. At that point, all the barrier dissolves. Your mind manifests its true nature. You getting it? True nature of the total ease. This is known as a bodhicitta. How? This next question. 1. Number 2 is going to be a little technical. Number 2 is going to be a little technical. Number 2 is the long term. The long term, how to fine-tune this expansiveness of your mind. How to fine-tune your expansiveness of the mind. How to fine-tune that. For this, we talk about the cognitive obscurations. You're getting it? Afflictive obscurations and cognitive obscurations. Do you remember? We mentioned this somewhere. How many remember that? Cognitive obscurations, what is that? Afflictive obscurations, cognitive obscurations. How many remember that? Okay. Which of the two is more difficult to get rid of? From what we learned, cognitive. Okay. So now is about that. This is technical side. You're getting it? Thus far, how to cultivate love and affection. That is not too technical. Only thing is that we may not, suddenly you are given a very different perspective and you may be amazed. But other side, dealing with the cognitive thought process, cognitive obscurations, dealing with the cognitive obscurations, that is something technical. Okay. Let me just quickly touch on this, and if you get a little lost, don't worry. This is a very important point, and you have to learn it more. Okay. Okay, let's say you're dreaming. In the dream, generally speaking, you believe the contents of the dream as real. Yes? Yes. And the contents of dream, some are pleasant, some are unpleasant, some are neutral. Yes? And you believe them to be real. When you believe them to be real, you don't get out of the dream. You understand? When you believe them to be real, which means that you don't get out of the dream. You don't wake up. We're in the dream. Okay. Sometimes in the dream, you are aware that you're dreaming, known as lucid dream. How many of you had that experience once in a while? Where you're aware that you're dreaming. Still you're dreaming, but you're aware that you're dreaming. Many of you have the experience. Good. So I gave you two scenarios. One, you dream and you believe the contents of the dream as real, not as dream. Second scenario, where you dream and you don't believe the contents of the dream as dream. You see, no, contents of the dream is real. Instead, you see them as dream. Not real, but still you're dreaming. You're getting it? And third one is you wake up. Which is the best? Waking up. You're getting it? First one, you are trapped so badly. In the second case, the contents of the dream cannot affect you because you don't believe them to be real. But you are still trapped in the dream. You cannot come out. Although the dream cannot affect you, but you cannot come out of the dream because you are still you're dreaming, still continuous dreaming. In the third case, say you are not affected by the dream. No, you are trapped in the dream. You are freed from the dream completely. You're getting it? Okay. So, likewise, say that the flower, seeing the flower is objectively real. Say the flower is seen, is object real flower. So you believe it to be object real. This one. Then when you reach a level whereby you see that it appears as object real, but it's not true. You don't believe in appearance too. Then so where in the first case appearance as object real and apprehension as object real, both are there. In the first case, apprehension of the flower as object real, appearance of flower as object real, and appearance as object real. Okay, let's say that how many of you have never seen snow? Raise hands. How many of you have never seen snow? Answer, you have never seen snow. Okay, don't worry. Snow is pink in color. You don't believe, right? Okay. So let's say that the okay. As you know, the snow is white, right? Which means that we all know snow is white. You're getting it? Let's say that there's a group of small children who never heard about snow, who never saw snow, you're getting, and taken to the Mount Kailash. Mount Kailash with the blue spectacles on. And you also, blue spectacles on. You who know the snow is white. You go there. How will the snow appear to you? As white or is it blue? To you and the small children. To all of you, the snow appears as blue. Don't forget it. And who will believe the snow is blue? You or the small children? Small children. Now for them, there are two mistakes happening. Mistaken appearance, the snow appears as blue, mistake. And they believe it to be blue. Belief-wise mistaken, appearance-wise mistaken. Whereas in your case, what is the mistake? Appearance-wise mistaken. It appears as blue, but you don't believe as blue. You're getting it? So on the belief level, you are not mistaken. But on the appearance level, you are mistaken. Appearance of the snow is blue. You're getting it? Okay. So there, your mind now is all about the cognitive. For example, in the dream, what traps you in the dream? What traps you in the dream? Hey, what traps in the dream? Believing the dream is real, right? This is what traps you in the dream. Or in other words, your mind continues to have the appearance of the dream. Continues to have the dream, right? And then believing it makes it worse, right? That is how it traps you. So the mind, the true nature of mind is that you are not just trapped in the dream. This is not your true nature. Your mind is the ability to come out of the dream. Right? Come out of the dream, not be trapped in the dream. You can come out of the dream. But you are trapped there cognitively. Your mind dreaming, creating a dream, and then believing it to be real, gets stuck there. So it's purely cognitive mind which traps you in the dream. Nobody says, hey, be in the dream. Nobody said it. Nobody forced you. But your cognitive thought process trapped you in the dream. Number one, mistakenly the dream appears as real. Number two, you believe it to be real. So these two trap you in the dream. You're getting it? Okay. Likewise, we are trapped in what we call samsara. We are trapped in samsara. Number one, things appear as objectively real. Number two, we believe that things are objectively real. You getting it? The first, what we do is that we remove the belief that things are objectively real. Like, say you put on blue glasses on, and then you come to know that the snow is white. Although it appears as blue, but you know that snow is white. So, the small children, they still believe the snow is blue. In your case, you don't believe it to be blue, but it still appears as blue. Who has a worst mistaken mind? Small children or you? Small children. Because for them, mistaken appearance as well as mistaken apprehension. For you, mistaken appearance, no mistaken apprehension. Now, from the level of the child's perception of the snow should be upgraded to your level of the perception of snow, where appearance is mistaken, but the apprehension is not mistaken. Right? So you upgrade. From there, remove the blue glasses. Remove the blue glasses, you're still more upgraded. You're getting it? Then the perception, apprehension, and appearance both not mistaken. So there are three levels. You're getting it? So likewise, say we see things object real, and we believe that object real. From there, like this is like what? Which of the three? Small child? You with blue glasses on? You without blue glasses on? Which of the three is the example here? Where you see things object real and you believe them to be real. Like a small child. Good. Now from there you have to move to the next one. Next one is elders who put on blue glasses, but knowing that the snow is not blue. You getting it? Where the mistake happens on the appearance level, but not on the apprehension level. You getting it? Okay. So that is when you attain arhatship. When you attain arhatship. Arhatship meaning when you get rid of the self-grasping ignorance. When you cut the root of the ignorance, when you cut the root of the suffering, when you remove the self-grasping ignorance, the belief that things object real stops. But still things appear as object real. Okay, now at that level you become like a adult. There are two adults. Adult with the blue glasses on, but knowing that the snow is white. Right? You become like the adult, where your self-grasping ignorance is gone, but the appearances still trap you. Still trap you, but you are not trapped as badly as believing them to be real. Then when you become Buddha, even the wrong appearances stop. Right? It is like then you wake up, or you remove the blue glasses. Then your mind is directly with the true nature of the snow. You're getting it? When you become Buddha, at that point, then the mistaken appearance, mistaken apprehension, both are gone. So mistaken appearance, that is the cognitive obscuration. Mistaken apprehension is the afflictive obscuration. Afflictive. Mistaken apprehension is the afflictive obscuration. Mistaken appearance is the cognitive obscuration. When you remove the afflictive obscurations, you become like the adult with the blue glasses on, but knowing that the snow is not blue, right? So there you gain freedom from samsara, but still you are not a Buddha. You are yet to attain the Buddhahood. Then you remove the mistaken appearance. You remove it. Mistaken appearance, you remove it. Then what happens? You remove the cognitive obscurations. At that point, you become Buddha. You see things directly. No apprehension, no appearance can stop you. No wrong appearance, no wrong apprehension can stop your mind from the displaying its true nature. It flows so freely, no obstruction at all. This is known as your mind manifests its ultimate nature, true nature. It flows so freely to every atom of the universe. At that point, you cognize every atom, you cognize every mind of the sentient beings. You become omniscient. This is when you manifest your true nature of the mind. So this is not for you to just have a belief. This is how we have to know cognitively that how, see, when cognitively, when you are freed from the mistaken appearance, mistaken apprehension, mistaken appearance, you'll be freed from the afflictive obscurations and then the cognitive obscurations. Then your mind, there's no obstruction left to stop your mind from behaving in its true form. So, one example given by Aranyagarjuna is, you are making notes. Say it is in the midnight. You make notes, suddenly there's a power cut. So you cannot make notes, you cannot read anything. And then somebody brings something, a vase, and tells you that, oh, there's a light inside this vase. There's a light inside this vase. No, I don't see the light. There's a light there. How do you know? It is blocked by the pitcher, the vase. How do you know that? What do? You punch a hole to this vase. You punch a hole. What happens? From the hole, where the hole is punched, the light from this hole will come out. Right? So from there you get a clue that, oh, the true nature of the light is to just spread. You don't tell the, hey, now come out. You don't tell the light. Right? Then what do you do? If the true nature of the light is to spread, why is it not spreading now? Why not? Because it is blocked by the vase. Break the vase. What happens? You don't have to tell the light, now spread. Now the vase is no more there, spread. You don't have to tell the light will manifest its true nature. What's the true nature? It spreads every corner of the house. So this is the true nature of mind. What blocks us? What is that vast light which blocks the true nature of mind from manifesting? Is the afflictive obscurations and the cognitive obscurations. Cognitively wrong apprehension of the object, and cognitively wrong appearance of the object. Cognitively wrong apprehension of the object is afflictive obscurations, and cognitively wrong appearance of the object is what is that? Hey. Cognitively wrong apprehension of the object is afflictive obscurations. Cognitively wrong appearance of the object is cognitive obscurations. You remove them one by one, then there's no obscuration left. Like the vase broken, like the light, your mind will flow infinitely, spontaneously, without any obstructions. That is your true nature. That is when you become Buddha. Okay. So, with this, there are two methods. We'll quickly go through the second method first. The method of equalizing and exchanging of self for others. Method of equalizing and exchanging of self for others. This has 9 steps. 9 steps. And of course, we are expected not to bypass any of the steps. Right? Okay, 9 steps. The first one is equalizing self and others. Step 1, equalizing self and others. I'm sure some of you might have this on your fingertips. Raise your hands. Your fingertips. 9 steps. Yes. You don't have? Okay. So here Nicola. Then what else? Anyone else? Bernard 2. Sonamla 3. That's it, 3. And Laura 4. Anyone else? 4. And Professor William, I know, 5. Okay. NMC1. NDC 1, 2, 3. If you don't have by heart, penalty. Right? Okay. So the first of the nine. The first one is equalizing self and others. Number 2, reflecting on the demerits of cherishing oneself. Reflecting on the demerits of cherishing oneself. Okay, Jill, don't be too kind. Number 2, reflecting on the demerits of cherishing oneself. Number 3, reflecting on the merits of cherishing others. Nicola, number 4. Taking the suffering of number 4, taking the suffering of others with emphasis on compassion. Okay, number 5. Anyone? Sunamla? Very good. I'm impressed. Giving a happiness to others with emphasis on loving kindness. Number 5. And then number 6, Laura La. Actual exchange of self and other. Thank you, very good. I'm impressed. Actual exchange of self and others. Number 6, actual exchange of self and others. Number 6. Then number 7. Number 7, Nicola. A special recollection of the kindness of others. Special recollection of the kindness of others. So number 8, altruism. And the Laurel, number 9, Bodhicitta. Very good. Okay, these I'm so happy that, if Sonamla did not have by heart, I'll be very sad. Right? She already learned this 12 years ago. And I'm so glad that she has. Now, hey, don't just look at Sonamla. Imagine yourself after 12 years. Right? Imagine if you have to own this. It's easy to say, yes, I will have by heart. Right? It's difficult to say, I have these by hearts. I will have and I have, these two are different. You getting it? I will have is very easy. I have by heart is very difficult. Right? Okay. Number 1, equalizing self and others. Number 2, reflecting on the demerits of cherishing oneself. Number 3, reflecting on the merits of cherishing others. Number 4, taking the suffering of others with emphasis on compassion. Number 5, giving a happiness to others with the emphasis on loving kindness. Number 6, actual exchange of self and others. Number 7, special recollection of the kindness of others. Number 8, altruism. Number 9, bodhicitta. Okay. Is there anybody who likes me to say it again? Anyone? Again? Okay. Number 1. What is number 1? Equalizing self and others. Number 1. Number 2, reflecting on the demerits of cherishing oneself. Number 3, reflecting on the merits of cherishing others. Number 4, taking the suffering for others with emphasis on compassion. Taking the suffering for others with emphasis on compassion. Number 5, giving a happiness to others or giving a happiness with emphasis on loving kindness. Number 6, actual exchange of self and others. Actual exchange of self and others. Number 6. Number 7, special recollection of the kindness of others. Number 8, altruism. Number 9, bodhicitta. Okay, Ben, can you translate? Just these steps, 9 steps.
Step number, satisfy
Okay, good. Okay, now we go through these steps one by one. The first one is, so look, so this is all, okay. Before we go through this, remember, by the way, remember these 9 steps. If possible, remember, have them on your fingertips, remember by heart. Before we go through this, I also like to share with you that how the mind works. How the mind works. And if you look at the different people, we see that some are extremely compassionate, some are not so compassionate, right? And some people are very compassionate when towards people who are genuine. People who are not so genuine, they are not compassionate, right? Some people, it doesn't matter. The person suffering, genuine, not genuine, it doesn't matter, very compassionate. So we see that varying degrees of compassion. How many you notice that with hands? Varying degrees of compassion, right? And in my life, I see that I see only few people with incredible amount of compassion. Only few, very profound compassion. Usually they are found amongst the monks. Out of thousands of monks, I see very sophisticated, extremely profound compassion. 3-4 people. 3-4 people. They're all monks. This is what I sense. And of course, is from their past life, plus trained in this life. And not necessarily with, this, say, the high rank, this Rinpoche, that Rinpoche. No, among the ordinary people, this is what I saw. Among the ordinary monks, I've seen this. And who is the real ordinary? Who is the real the enlightenment? We never know. We cannot judge. This is what I've seen. And seeing these things, wow, it's amazing. What is said in the text, I can see actually reflected in some of these monks, their compassion. So profound. Now the point is that how does it work? How does it work? If somebody can do that, why not us? But we need to know how to do that. For that, first we need to know how the mind works. For this, what we do is that the mind, as I said earlier, mind is like a clay. Like a clay, it can be given any shape of demon or shape of Buddha, right? This is the mind. So this is the nature of the mind. With this, how the mind works is that the mind has innumerable number of functions. Of these, there are 5 functions which are referred to as the omnipresent mental factors. 5 functions which are so important, omnipresent mental factors. And if we know this, on this basis, if you work on that, by knowing this, if you work on this, then say our bad habits. We all have our bad habits. We all sentient beings. We all have our vulnerabilities. We all have our weaknesses. We can undo these weaknesses on the basis of these. This is amazing. Okay. Say the 5 functions are: number 1, contact. Number 2, attention. Number 3, discrimination. Number 4, feeling. Number 5, intention. Let me repeat it. Contact is rekpa in Tibetan. Contact. Next is attention. Yiche. Yilacheba. Attention. Number 3, discrimination. Dushe in Tibetan. Number 4, feeling. Sorwa. And finally, intention. Sempa. intention. Okay. Same in the Buddhist study of psychology, the study of Buddhist psychology and the other treatises, we see that there's a mention of 300 mental factors, 200 mental factors. So many of them are taught. Particularly in one study of Buddhist psychology, there's a mention of 51 mental factors. 51. It's not there are only 51. There are more. Infinite numbers. But 51 are taught related to your spiritual journey, spiritual growth. And the first 5 are known as the omnipresent mental factors. So I'm going to explain on the basis of these 5. If you know this so well, just work on this to see how to improve your happiness, to see how to improve your stability of the mind, to see how to undo our bad habits. This is amazing. It's all about our psychology. Okay, see the first contact. The contact. Okay, let's say that the person. Okay, the difficult person passes by, right? Difficult person passes by, and then your Subhashi, what did you say? Your blood pressure shoots up, right? And then the heart blood pressure, and the sweat starts, right? Okay. So there, and you like it or not like it? You don't like it. You're getting it? You don't like it. And if the person passes by, and suddenly, just in the middle, the person stops. You're happy, not happy? Even more unhappy, right? You just like the person goes away, right? And then if the person doesn't go away, you go away, right? Okay. So what is happening there? What is happening? What is happening? One, what's the first one? Contact. Your eye consciousness, your mind, your eye consciousness comes in contact with the person. Contact. And then, I want to just stay peacefully. And this difficult is it the difficult person? What do? Number 2, you pay attention. You pay attention to see if it is a difficult person. Number 2, paying attention, you discriminate. Discriminate meaning that you discern. You become very, what's the word? You become determined that this is the difficult person. Discrimination. Number 3. Discrimination meaning it can be erroneous, it can be correct. It can be correct or it can be erroneous. Prank. When we do the prank, it is erroneous, but mentally you think that this is the ghost, right? So likewise, this is a difficult person. Discrimination doesn't mean gender discrimination, racial discrimination. It's not about this. Discrimination here is very neutral in nature. It's like discerning, or they say discerning is more positive. Not judge is too strong, but okay, discriminate or discern. Then with this is a person. Then what is next? What's next? Feeling. What feeling comes? Unpleasant feeling comes. You're getting it? Unpleasant feeling. Anybody? Do you have the experience of unpleasant feeling? Unpleasant feeling, what is that like? You know that? Unpleasant feeling comes. Do you want unpleasant feeling or no? You don't want unpleasant feeling. You're getting it? You don't want unpleasant feeling. So what do? You want to run away from the unpleasant feeling. How to run away from the unpleasant feeling? 2 ways. 1, to remove the person, or if you cannot remove the person, you run away. Right? And if the person doesn't go away, or you cannot run away, you have to sit here, right? Then your mind continues to resist. No, you have to run, you have to go away, that person go away. So they say the intention to run away from that. Number 5, intention to run away. So this intention makes the mind to move. You're getting it? The mind tries to move away from the person. Move away from the person, but you cannot move. say you cannot move because somebody said you have to sit here for the next 5 hours. Right? So you cannot move, and the person is not also going. So your mind says, no, I don't want this unpleasant feeling. This person, the unpleasant feeling comes. I don't want this unpleasant feeling. So you want to move away from the person. But you see, which means that your mind is resisting. For example, like somebody grabs you, right, from your shirt like this. And then what will you do? You try to run away, right? And the person continues to hold you. So what do? You try to resist, right? In the process, what do you do? What happens? Your energy exhausts. You're getting it? You can resist, but you cannot run, but you're resisting. So what happens? Your mind is trying to resist. Resist, intention to run away. But you cannot run away, continues to tries to run away. So that resistance is a disturbance. That disturbance, if it is intense, it is anxiety. If it is prolonged, it is depression. You're getting it? So this is how the anxiety, depression sink in your mind. So what we do is that if you know this mechanism, how the mind works, contact, attention, discrimination, feeling, and intention. Intention is the one actually which makes the mind move. So this movement of the mind in the form of resisting. You're trying to move, but you cannot move. You try to move, you cannot move. That is the continuous resistance. That is disturbance. That is disturbance. Now, say that finally you don't want this resistance. You don't want this disturbance. If you don't want the disturbance, okay, now reverse. If you don't want this, the intention making you have the disturbance, what should you do? You have to change the unpleasant feeling, because the unpleasant feeling, when you get the unpleasant feeling, you want to run away from this. So the mind tries to resist, to run away from the object. You cannot run. So you have to change the unpleasant feeling to pleasant. Then the mind will, pleasant feeling you like or you don't like? You like. So the intention will embrace it, will not resist. You're getting it? Intention will embrace it, not resist. So you have to try to change the unpleasant feeling to the pleasant feeling. And what determines the feeling? Discrimination. You're getting it? This discrimination is the cognitive activity of your mind. So this mind says that this difficult person, this is a cognitive mind. You're getting it? Look, now again the difficult person comes. This purely cognitive thought process. And then the past memories. This is disturbing. This person did like this. All the past memories kick in. Past memories, again, of cognitive thought process. They're all linked. They come. And then give you the unpleasant. The more you think, the more the unpleasant feeling builds up. Monday you get only 1,000 and you lose 500 is a big loss? Yes. If your monthly salary is like 2 lakhs, right? 200,000. Losing 500 is big or not? It's nothing. You know, sometimes you say, a cup of tea, you give 500 rupees, right? But if you earn only 1,000 rupees, you will not buy a tea for 500 rupees. You're getting it? Is a big deal. So, when you see that, you see the discrimination. If you make the discrimination so broad, huge, 2 lakhs of rupees salary, 500 rupees very small, right? So whereas only 1,000 rupees salary, 500 rupees is a huge amount. Losing that is huge. You are losing out huge. So discrimination, if you make it so vast and broad in space and in time, then small things will not matter, right? It will not give you unpleasant feeling. Yeah, right? So, for example, say you lose a mobile. You buy something new, mobile, and lose it without all the details. without all the bank details, identity card, everything, nothing of that. And you lose it. And if your salary is just 1,000 per month, you lost a huge thing. But if your salary is 2 lakhs per month, this small mobile is just nothing. For you, in comparison with somebody losing a mobile, where your salary is only 1,000 rupees per month. You're getting it? Because for you, the mobile and the amount that you are getting, salary, there's a stark contrast there. What you lose is so small with respect to what you get. But whereas for the other person, what you lose is much bigger than what you get. So therefore, it matters a lot. The unpleasant feeling is much more. So one thing is by changing the discrimination, by seeing things very broadly in space and in time, you have a lot of information. You learn a lot. Then this is very insignificant, very small. It will not affect you. You become like a Mount Meru. Small things cannot move you. Mount Everest, right? A small thing cannot move this Mount Everest. So your mind will become very calm and stable. It cannot be affected. Then the next one is actually change the cognitive, the thinking. For example, this person is difficult. Instead of difficult, this person is very beneficial. I learn a lot from this person. I get a lot from this person. Right? If you can see that, then your feeling will be very different. So when you see your mother, there's a tremendous pleasant feeling coming. Why? Mother is a source of benefit. So this person also is a great source of benefit. Right? Then you see that pleasant feeling comes. And with the pleasant feeling, you like it. So you embrace, you don't reject. And then there are so many ways of changing the. In short, what we're trying to do here, these 9 steps of bodhicitta, is to change the discrimination. Change the discrimination, which otherwise gives unpleasant feeling, to give you pleasant feeling. With a pleasant feeling, what's next? Pleasant feeling, what's next? Intention. Intention, instead of rejecting, will embrace. Will embrace the near and dear ones, will embrace the neutral people, will embrace the difficult people. So you embrace everyone. Your mind flows with love and affection towards everyone. This is how the mind works. Okay, so from this, what is that thing you get like a lesson? You learn from this. In order to keep yourself very happy, you have to expand your compassion, love and compassion. How to expand your love and compassion depends on changing discrimination. You're getting it? How to change the discrimination. Therefore, in Buddhist philosophy, there's a tremendous emphasis on the importance of the analytical meditation to change your discrimination. You're getting it? Good. Okay. So, having said this, now we have to go one by one. Right? And our job is to see how these steps, they contribute to changing our discrimination, to change our feeling from unpleasant to the pleasant feeling, and thereby making us embrace rather than reject. Right? Okay, when do you create the prison? When you reject or when you embrace? Huh? Okay, Meenakshi ji, tell me. When do you create the prison? When you reject or when you embrace? Huh? When you reject. Anyone? How by rejecting you create the prison? Just explain in your own words. What do you feel? Whatever you feel. Yes, Lethal. Reject means you create wall between you. Okay, don't come close to me. You're getting it? You create wall. You create wall means actually you are imprisoned, right? You create wall to stop the other person, but you are in the small prison now, right? You're creating wall for others, but actually you're creating prison for yourself. This is imprisoning your mind, right? This is amazing practice. So we have 3 minutes before we go further. I'd like to invite some questions. So we'll do this fresh tomorrow. Any questions? Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay. Okay, this is good question. Thank you. We talked about, you remember, we talked about ultimate analysis and conventional analysis. Right? Okay. Say the same object behaves in two ways. The same object behaves in two ways. The same object behaves as non-flower. The same object behaves as a flower. In Heart Sutra, it says form is empty. And then what's the second line? Emptiness is form. You getting it? Okay. So say two groups, group A and group B. Group A and group B, right? So here we say Drishti, Isabel, this side, group A, and Pembasering, and the Timothy. And gentleman over there, your name? Rishi. Okay, you all in this group, group B. Group A, group B. Let's say group A looks at this through looks at through your naked eyes. Group B looks at it through electron microscope. You getting it? I ask group A, what is this? Flower. Group B, what is this? Huh? Atoms or no flower. No intrinsic, no objective flower, right? It's just atoms. Okay. Which of the two mind of yours is conventional analysis? Group A's mind is conventional analysis. Group B's mind is ultimate analysis. You're getting it? So these two don't contradict. These two are describing the same object. Same object. Now what's the benefit? Say, with the same object, we see that destructive emotions can arise. Same object, positive emotions can arise. Right? What gives rise to this destructive emotions is believing the flower as objectively real. Right? And what can give rise to the positive emotions is like, and the flower does exist. It does not objectively exist, but the flower exists. Right? So one says the flower exists objectively. This is what gives rise to all the destructive emotions. You like the destructive emotions or not? You don't want. If you don't want the destructive emotions, what should you do? You should remove what causes the destructive emotion. What causes destructive emotions? Believing the flower as objectively real. So, which of the two minds will help you to get into this? Ultimate analysis, conventional analysis. Ultimate analysis, looking at the same object through ultimate analysis, you will see that the flower does not exist objectively. Thereby, all your destructive emotions will be dissolved. Right? And group B, you are looking at it through ultimate analysis, conventional analysis. Conventional analysis. You still appreciate the flower. You're getting it? So, you can offer this to all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas. You're getting it? So, offering this to Buddhas, you're not seeing the flower exists objectively. This is conventional analysis. Right? From distance, you see the flower. So, the flower is there. And as Iran said, this is a flower. This is not a pen. Right? This is flower. This is not a pen. This is flower. Or the flower I will offer to Buddhas, Bodhisattvas. Pen I'll use for make notes. You make this distinction on the basis of the conventional analysis. So from this what we see is that these what is seen by the two analysis are the two descriptions of the same object. You are getting it? So one is the emptiness and one is the dependent origination. Right? So these are the two sides of the same coin. From this side you see emptiness, from the other side you see dependent origin. Emptiness means empty of independent existence. Emptiness and dependent origin mean the same, right? Emptiness, dependent origination. Seeing emptiness, all your destructive emotions will dissolve. Your fears will go away. Seeing dependent origination, all your virtues will grow. By dependence on being kind towards others, my happiness grows. I should be kind towards others. You getting it? So kindness, compassion. I get the benefit of all the beings. By dependence on others, near and dear ones, neutral beings, difficult people, I get the maximum benefit, right? By dependence that I get the maximum benefit is originated for me. Dependent origination. When you see the dependent origination, your compassion grows, your virtues grows. So, yes. Okay, this is good question. Okay, do you all follow the thing? Say, the mother, right? The mother is so loving to the child. And another neighbor's child comes and kick your child. Mother slaps the neighbor's child. Right? So that is ultimate analysis. You apply the analysis for your mother, for your child, you under conventional analysis? No. The point is that this is a good question. Say, when you slap somebody, is it out of anger or not? If it is out of anger, the ground of anger, anger is affliction. Ground of affliction is self-grasping ignorance, seeing things object real. That's there. So, embracing the child, right, is so beautiful, but it has two isolates. What we call as compassion. Mother's love to his child has two isolates. It's the same entity, two isolates. One is affection, other one is attachment. Attachment is grounded on, attachment again affliction, is grounded on ignorance, self-grasping ignorance. And the other isolate is affection. So, what do you do now? These two are the same entity, affection and the attachment. This is the same entity with respect to mother's love for the child. So, if you remove the attachment, affection also gone. If you cultivate the affection, you are encouraging the attachment. Attachment also increases. What should we do? Okay. Just imagine that this is a burning gold piece. A gold, but red burning gold, right? What should you do? If you hold it, it'll burn your hand. If you throw this, you are throwing gold. What should you do? If you hold it, it burns your hand. It is fire. If you throw, you are throwing gold. And the gold and the fire, in this case, these two are the same entity, same object, with two different isolates. So you have to the separate isolates. How you put this gold in the cold water. Put in cold water, the fire goes away, and the gold will be left behind. You're getting it? So with this affection, see the emptiness of the child. Attachment part will go away. Affection will still continue. You're getting it? So this affection you can spread to others. You can expand to others. Okay, yes, Taruna.
Dependent origination will become a positive phenomenon, then how we can say emptiness, which is negative phenomenon.
Very good. And dependent origination is a positive phenomena. Emptiness is negative phenomena. These two are, how can the two be same? Anyone who likes to give the answer? Okay, Ben. Okay, Ben, first translate the question. What's the answer?
With respect to an object, say a flower, so if you see the emptiness of the flower, it's a negative phenomena. If you see the dependent origination of the flower, it's a positive phenomena, both with respect to the flower. So the flower is one entity, but it has several isolates. One is the emptiness of the flower, and then we look from the electron microscope. So we see the emptiness of the flower, it's one isolate, and another isolate, and we look from afar, it's the dependent origination.
Yes. So the two are two different isolates. Although these two are same meaning these two mean the same, meaning that these two are the same entity, but they are different isolates. They are not the isolate. If they are same isolate, then if one is positive, the other cannot be negative. Because they are different isolates, is possible. Say for example, the flower with the same object, there are incredible number of isolates. So some are positive, some are negative. It's possible. Good? Okay, Carolina. Whatever.
Okay, so
That's interesting. Okay, so you have to help me. Say the movie is projected on the screen. Okay, the movie is coming from the projector. But what is the metaphor? What is this screen metaphor of what? Right, screen is there. What is the metaphor? Anyone? Okay, Asta.
The movie screen is the metaphor for the samsara.
Okay, the idea is, let's say the flower, or let's say the Buddhahood. Buddhahood is also what our mind projects. So your mind is a projector, and the Buddhahood is the movie projected on the screen. So the Buddhahood is the object that, like a movie projected by mind, but the screen is there. It's not projected by mind. So what is this screen metaphor for? Jacob?
Yeah, I was going to say the objects. Because actually the movie in your mind is about that particular object. It's not about the whole existence. So you kind of see the object, you create a movie about it, and project it back onto the object. Create a false image.
So the object is the movie.
No, the movie comes from the projector, which is the mind. The object would be the flower.
So the flower is not the screen. Flower is what is projected by your mind. On what the flower is projected is the screen. The movie is projected on the screen. What is the screen metaphor for what? Screen is metaphor for what? This question. Okay. Venerable. Huh? The screen is a metaphor of the eye consciousness. The perception. Perception is the projection, actual projection, right? Actual projection, and on there's a screen there. The movie is projected by the actual projection, perception, and is projected on the screen. So screen is metaphor for what? This question. Okay, Pujala. Okay, the screen is a metaphor for the emptiness. How?
If there was something, then we wouldn't be able to project anything. So it has to be empty for us to project something.
Okay, that makes sense. Wow. So screen is a purely white symbolizing empty, right? Objectively empty. So next time I'll remember puja, right? So a screen, empty screen symbolizes emptiness, right? That's beautiful, amazing. Emptiness, objectively empty, and that was subjectively imputed. Perfect, very good. Anybody who likes to add more? Nicola, you like to add? But if I were Nicola, I wouldn't add anything. It's just perfect. What Pooja said is just perfect. Yes.
Actually, I had this conversation with Caroline. I asked her to ask you this question because I don't have the answer. But what I have in mind is that it could be like, because the mind is clear and knowing, right? So I was thinking that maybe the projector is the metaphor for the knowing agent, and the screen would be the metaphor for the clear agent.
No. Okay, Rishi. That's also interesting.
So, like the aggregates of whatever we're identifying as the object of negation.
Okay, we call it as the basis of designation. This is what it's saying. Okay, let's say that the flower, the atoms there, or for the person, the aggregates are there. 5 aggregates. On the basis of that, the 5 aggregates, then the mind impute a person. So 5, like the screen, is already right from the beginning there. 5 aggregates are there. Movie is projected, the person is projected on the basis of the aggregates. So aggregates serve as the basis of designation. So for this, Yes, many people say like this. For this question still remains, that doesn't mean that the five aggregates exist objectively, right? If they exist before the projection, then they should exist objectively, independent of the projection. So there should be some degree of objectivity. Okay, don't forget it. There's what is known as, even this word, keep this in mind, the basis of designation. So the aggregates are the basis of designation. This is true. Aggregates are the basis of destination. Atoms are the base. Atoms of the flower are the basis of destination of the flower. This is true. Then the question remains: if the atoms are the basis of destination, the metaphor given of the, that's the word, the screen. Then screen exists before the projection. So screen should be always there. So objectively, the atoms of the flower should be there. Okay, Rishi, you want to add?
Aren't the items themselves also a label, a declaration?
This, or am I not thinking about it correctly? Because once you start,
Okay, so what Rishi is saying is that, say, the projection is not just one. There are layers and layers of projection. Projection of the, say, projection of the person, projection of the atoms, then projection of the electrons, then projection of the past electrons. There are layers of projection can happen, right? So even the basis of destination, they're also projected by another projector. Perfect. Good. Happy? But I would say the screen was the screen. I would say how Puja explained this so good.
Thinking within my mind what would be the next question. So if that's the one truth, the emptiness, where's the cause and effect there?
So cause and effect. Okay, this is good. So is the emptiness? Where's the cause and emptiness? Meaning emptiness of objective existence. Objectively, there's no cause and effect. Even the cause and effect is also subjective. You're getting it? Okay, any more questions? Laura.
If the mind moves, how can the mind move if it's non-tangible?
Okay. This is good question. That mind moves. Okay. The movement, one, more in a sutra system and more in a, they say, gross explanation. I wouldn't say sutra tantra. I would say gross explanation and subtle explanation. On the level of the gross explanation, I would say that the mind moves not where the physical objects move, but there's an indication that mind moves. How? Because of the movement of the indication movement of the mind is that the physiological movement happens, right? Heartbeat, then the what temperature, what your blood pressure shoots up. All these movements are happening. These are all done by the mind. How the mind affects these, this is not explained in the gross explanation. It's explained in the subtle explanation. According to subtle explanation, the mind and the physical body, subtle physical body, these two are the same entity, different isolates. So same object which moves from that point is known as energy. Same object which knows things is known as the mind. The mind and the subtle energy, these two are same entity, different isolates. So that's from the subtle explanation. Okay, Rishi, your question, and then the Karuna. Yes.
That I'm confused about.
Uh,
In many traditions or other lineages, there's an emphasis on non-reactivity.
yes.
I.e., in terms of this sensation or feeling, not to have aversion, not for it to be unpleasant, but also not for
Pleasant feeling.
a pleasant feeling.
Yes.
And like this, you develop the sense of
Equanimity.
the mind, and that is kind of a basis for
Enlightenment.
compassion.
Compassion. Okay.
Instead of indifference.
Okay.
Here, the example, it's to create the unpleasant the pleasant.
Yes, very good. Okay, I would say that so when it comes to these discussions, what is required is openness. Open mind is required. Say instead of us taking okay, I went to Thosamling, I learned this, right? So this is right. This should not be our attitude. If this is the attitude, we will never see the reality, right? Okay, I learned from Thosamling like this, but somebody else is saying something else, right? I'm curious to learn which is correct. And maybe they are complementary. We never know. They can be complementary, or one can be partial, one can be complete. Both can be complete, both can be partial. We maintain a very open mind. Okay. One thing I don't really want to discuss on this part so much. Say the Buddha's teachings is of two kinds. One is meant for personal liberation, and the other meant for attain Buddhahood for the benefit of sentient beings. This is the reality. And the teachings that you see in Sri Lanka, Thailand, Burma, Indonesia, or let's say Cambodia. So these teachings which went to these places since the time of King Ashoka. So these teachings were more directed towards, the goal is to attain personal liberation, not Buddhahood. That is a reality, right? And some people they will say, no, this is so biased. So we have to talk the reality as reality. As I said earlier, we have to know the reality. For example, say once when I was in Thailand, the very young abbot is a very popular figure there, and he took me to a very senior abbot, and the translator of the senior abbot was also a very senior monk, and the abbot must be in his 60s or early 70s, and the translator must be like my age, and of course a very senior monk. And then I asked because it was more like a formal meeting, courtesy meeting, and I asked the abbot the question, how common is the teaching of anatta? Anatta, selflessness, anatman. The teaching of selflessness, teaching on emptiness in Thailand to the common people. And then the abbot didn't give a direct answer. Very senior abbot. He said that teaching on anatta is very complicated, which means that implicitly saying that it's not so commonly taught to the common people. Then I said that yes, I agree that it's a complicated teaching, but even the ordinary people, they should become enlightened. They should become Buddha, right? So if I say they should become Arhat, then it is like discriminating that we think of becoming Buddha, you think of becoming Arhat, right? We are more better. So to dissolve this problem, I said that everybody should become enlightened, become Buddha. And even the layperson, monastics, whosoever should become Buddha. And the translator said that, Geshe-la, to be very honest, we don't aim to become Buddha, we only aim to become Arhant. You're getting it? Arhant means attain personal liberation. This is the reality. Some people, they said, no, even we work for sentient beings, this is what I'm saying. But the reality is reality, that we have to acknowledge. So, the tradition that we follow is at least to what extent you are successful, we're at least aiming to become enlightened, become fully enlightened, Buddha. Focus on compassion, bodhicitta, right? And the four immeasurables, practice of four immeasurables is like the foundation, not the main practice. It's the foundation. On the basis of four immeasurables, then the bodhicitta is taught. All these systems are taught extra. These are absent in the tradition. For example, the tradition, what Rishi is talking about is coming from the Goenkaji's tradition. Goenkaji's tradition is coming from Burma. So where bodhicitta is not at all taught, right? Four immeasurables is taught. Now the next point is, it's not about my tradition, your tradition. What is important is we have to know the psychology, how the mind works. You're getting it? How the mind works. And their presentation is extremely good. Goenkaji's presentation extremely good. And if there were some people, some young people, who would come to learn from me, I would highly encourage them. You must go to practice what is taught in Goenkaji's tradition. Learn it full, come. And then whatever to be added, whatever you want to do, do. The point is that there you have to know how the mind works. Then how the mind, psychophysical complex, psychophysical the interaction works. We have to know all these things so thoroughly without having to depend on somebody else. You're getting it? You have to know it yourself. Know it yourself, and then it's going to be a very beautiful journey. It's a beautiful journey. Say, for example, here we are talking about how the mind works to change the unpleasant feeling to the pleasant feeling. You're getting it? And meanwhile, all these practice of equanimity, they're all there as the foundation. Practice of equanimity, the four immeasurables. Say, the immeasurable compassion, immeasurable loving kindness, immeasurable joy, immeasurable equanimity. All these practices are there. We have to practice all these. Then on top of that, then the bodhicitta is added. You're getting it? And how to practice the bodhicitta. All these techniques, they came all the way from Indonesia to India to Tibet. You're getting it? Before that, four immeasurables, they're already existent in Tibet. All these trainings are there. So bodhicitta is added. So bodhicitta part is missing in these countries because they don't aim to become Buddha. They aim to become what? Arahant. So in fact, the Arahant or the Arahat in Sanskrit, Arahat, to attain nirvana, personal liberation. Okay. So with this, what we got is to know the psychophysical interaction. Psychophysical interaction. Say, one is they're observing the breath, number one. Then observing the senses, two. Then in Tibetan Buddhism, there's observing the mind. You're getting it? Observing the breath, from there go to observing the senses, which is way subtler. From the senses, don't stay there. From there, go to the mind. Observe the mind. Still don't stay there. Observe the emptiness of the mind. So there are so many layers taught there. And don't say that we have extra. Don't say that. You have to practice yourself. Right? What is taught there? Observing the breath, observing the senses, and what is the, say, experiential results. And add to that, observing the mind. Further add to that, observing the emptiness of the mind. What is the experiential, the consequences? See, to difference. Then you will be the best person to judge, right? Don't just say that we have two additional things. Observing the mind, observing the emptiness of the mind. Don't say that, right? Learn all these things well and practice it. And meanwhile, if you feel, wow, emptiness is amazing. So I did the meditation on observing the senses. And yes, tickling sensations, cold feelings, they come, come. But the experience of emptiness is very different, so profound. With this, I can see that all, say, the mind, the misperception related to cognitive, affective, these are never discussed in Goenkaji's tradition. You're getting it? These are so profound. So with this, you can see something so different. If you see that, by no means you are to undermine the other traditions. Other traditions, they serve so many people. It's of great benefit. Great benefit to so many people. We have to only appreciate it. If we see that, on this basis, if you see that, you feel a sense of superiority. If you feel that and then undermine others, this is not Mahayana teaching. Mahayana teaching means to respect and appreciate, embrace all the other traditions. Appreciate all the other traditions. This is so important. But finally, you should be the judge. Finally, it is not for anybody else. Anybody else. It's for you, for your own happiness. How to get rid of your miseries and how to get the maximum happiness. You getting it? How to get rid of the miseries? Seeing emptiness. How to get the maximum happiness, emptiness, added to that is the universal compassion. So this is how we need to get a broad picture and then know all these things well and practice it, implement it, and see that some differences within you. Not be sectarian, saying that, oh, I'm from the Mahayana tradition, we have some extra things, right? If the moment we are sectarian, you are not Mahayana. Let's not forget it. Are you good? We'll stop here. It's already half an hour extra, 2.5 hours. Okay, thank you, Rishi. Your question. Are you good? We'll end it with the direction prayer. Page 52. Page 52. Let us pray that let us dedicate the merits thus gathered, that is Holiness the Dalai Lama, the true source of joy and happiness on this earth, that he lives long and that his wish be fulfilled spontaneously. Also, let us dedicate the merits thus gathered, that all these great teachings, that the teachings of the Buddha, wherever these teachings are being studied, reflected, meditated upon, may these centers and places thrive in the activities of the Dharma. With this mind, let's dedicate the merits thus gathered here. I dedicate the merits thus gathered towards the realization that is in the prayers of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of 3 times, and to the upholding of the doctrine, scripture, and insight. May I in all lives, through the force of this merit, never separate from the 4 wheels of the Mahayana vehicle, and accomplish all the stages of the path, renunciation, bodhicitta, perfect in the 2 stages. From my 2 collections, vast space that I have amassed from working with effort at this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds, wisdom is blinded by ignorance. Deyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhiswatyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhiswatyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhiswaha. Okay, Deborah.